Jason's family had never approved of his relationship with the 70-year-old Margaret, and when the pair decided to seal their love and marriage, Jason's parents even went so far as to disown him when he turned 18. But Jason knew something that his family had no idea about. He had a very good reason for marrying Margaret, and he was going to make his family deeply regret not supporting his decisions. Before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Jason tried reaching out to his family, but they just would not answer any calls. Margaret was devastated that she was the reason that Jason had trouble with his family. She just could not fathom why they would react in such an extreme way. When Margaret told her children, they were very shocked. Jason was half the age of her youngest daughter. They told Margaret Jason was probably only doing it for her money. Jason then decided with Margaret that they would send out the wedding invites regardless of whether or not their families supported them. After a few days, Jason got what he feared for. The invites to his family were returned unopened. This was a massive statement from his family that they were never going to support his decision to go through with this. He was simply too young and was rebelling, according to his parents. This made Jason even more mad. Just wait until they realized the true motive. Jason suddenly heard knocking at the door. He did not expect anyone, so he had no clue who it was. When opening the door, he was staring right at his father. His father just barges in without really saying anything. Jason was stunned. Then he tells Jason that he brought a therapist with him who would help Jason to get rid of his rebellious views. Jason was extremely furious that his father would do something like this. His father tells him that if he doesn't accept this help, that he is never welcome home again. Margaret had overheard everything that Jason's father had said. She quickly hid upstairs when he came in because she did not know what he was capable of. Jason told Margaret that they would pay for what they were doing. He had never felt more betrayed in his life. Jason decided to lawyer up because he knew something that his father did not know. His father threatened to take him out of his will, but this wasn't allowed where Jason lived. It wasn't after his father's money, but he just did not care anymore. Suddenly, Jason's sister called. He hadn't spoken to her in 2 years, ever since he got into a relationship with Margaret. She told him that she would attend the wedding and that she was proud of him. When Jason told his secret, this strengthened both Jason and Margaret. Jason still has hope when he calls with his sister. His mother got convinced by his sister to go to the wedding, but his father still doesn't want to know about anything. Then Jason decided to go to the house of his parents. Jason brought a letter with him in a sealed envelope. This letter contained the true reason that he was going to marry Margaret. This was something between him and Margaret that only other people should know after the wedding. The extreme reaction of his father forced Jason to come up with this last Hail Mary. He knocks on the door very nervous, not knowing exactly who was inside the house. His father opened the door. It looked like he was expecting Jason. Jason thinks that his sister has already prepped his parents that Jason would come that day. He really wants his parents at the wedding, but his father keeps ignoring him. There was only one option. Jason leaves the sealed note, telling his parents that they should read it. This would make them regret being so harsh on him. His father shouts that he isn't going to read it, but Jason has the feeling that he will. He talked to Margaret about it, and she felt like there was only one solution. Jason did not like the idea that Margaret came up with. Margaret wants to take their invitation back and get rid of them from the guest list. Jason did not want to hear anything about this. He told Margaret that he wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they had too much pride to admit their mistakes. When preparing himself for the wedding, he still had no one of his family around him. Then he heard a knock on his door. He had good hope that his parents had finally come to see him, but when he opened the door, he saw someone else. Jason was staring right into his sister's eyes. He felt a little bit of relief, at least someone came. Jason had missed his sister a whole lot, and it meant the world to him that she at least came. Then he asked her the most important question. Where is the family? But then Lily tells Jason that he herself ran away from home to come to the wedding. She has no idea about what they would do. They were arguing all the time of Jason. Lily honestly thinks their parents would not come. She felt like their father would block all the attempts. Then it was time for the wedding to start. There was no time. They had to start the wedding. There was no other choice. They could not keep waiting for people that might never show up. Jason gave the go-ahead and then dropped down to his knees. He did not deserve this. The priest that married them was shocked to see the couple and their age difference, but he did not judge. He decided to give them his blessing, and Jason kissed Margaret. He whispered in her ears, "We did it." Jason and Margaret had the time of their lives. Then Jason decided it was a good time to tell everyone present what was going on. Of course, his parents and sister already knew it, but the rest had no clue. Jason grabbed the microphone and started talking. Jason was relieved that he did not have to keep this secret anymore. He told the crowd that he did not marry Margaret out of love. Everyone was instantly silent. Jason told them it was not about money either. It was much more noble. Jason married Margaret so she could stay in the country. She had come to the country 50 years ago for love, but all this time, she had been illegally living here. Marrying Jason would help her get a permit to stay. Everyone sighed. They couldn't tell anyone, or the state might block the wedding and deport Margaret. Luckily, they pulled it off, and they did not have to worry about anything anymore. This was the best feeling in the world. Everyone clapped and felt Jason did something remarkable.